Hi, everybody. Sunday morning, and I'm here with Sterling, your favorite. I
Good
get the
morning,
most
everybody.
hits whenever you're on.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun
Everybody
being
loves you.
being together. It's like getting together with the family.
Yes, yes. And thank you for your questions. We got questions. And thank you to Linda and to
Abs-
Daniel
Daniel, absolutely.
who put them together. And okay, so let's start. Will Texas and other states try to overturn the vote if it goes to a Democrat?
100%.
Yeah.
But they won't be successful. So it's going to be a lot of kicking and screaming, and a lot of the things you saw, like in the Kerry Lake situation, right? So a lot of kicking and screaming and making noise for many months. Unfortunately, yes, yeah, but it won't be
So
successful.
So even though the governor gave them the ability to do this, to change the vote, they'll take it to the higher courts. I don't even think the Supreme Court would go for it.
No, I think that right now it's getting to the point where there's been too many cases that are structured the same way. This is a lie. This is a fake election, and the courts aren't spending that much time with them as much anymore. But yeah, they're going to kick and scream. Yeah.
Well, they even sanctioned Carrie Lake for some sort of lie, or her attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With one swipe of a pen, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt vetoed a bipartisan bill that would have allowed Native students to wear tribal regalia at graduation ceremonies. Will the governor's veto be vetoed by the Oklahoma legislature?
I get yes, but it's more like 6 months, so it's not like right away. So I don't know
Yeah.
what kind of cycle of how they handle that, but I got in 6 months, which kind of puts us out towards the end of the year. So it looks like
Can you
it'll
believe
reverse.
doing
Yeah.
that? And he's got a lot of these chairmen of tribes, including my tribe, where
Mm-hmm.
he buddies with them because of the oils and stuff. And
Sure.
why would he do this and basically slap the face of natives? That's so weird. Okay, do you see any significant events surrounding space, ETs, or the universe?
No, that's a good question. Yeah. I see a lot of successful rocket launches for NASA and the Artemis program and
Okay.
SpaceX with the large rockets. Within a year or two here, there's something going on with the moon, I see, right? So there's some sort of a initial installation or something going on there. And also my forecast I did for this year, there's some big event coming up for like a Palladian mothership going over the west coast of the United States. So that's going to be seen by like thousands of people, much the same way the Phoenix Lights took
Right.
place, the Phoenix Lights. So I saw that. But yeah, there's a lot of things happening. Mhm.
Yeah, I watched a show from Brazil. Do you remember this? It was 1970 or 89 or something.
Mhm.
And a spaceship crashed.
Mhm.
And these three young girls were walking and saw the entity, and it was
Routine.
green with big red eyes. But they
Mhm.
said it was very frightened. It was afraid.
Right.
And they said that apparently at the crash site, it smelled like ammonia really bad.
Yeah, all true. I mean, there's just millions of sightings all around everywhere. Yeah, and crashes everywhere. Yeah.
Wow. But apparently the United States came and got the bodies. They're right in the middle of it. I got a hair in my eye. Oh, this is will the housing industry level out here in Florida? Rent is ridiculous and buying a house is out of the question. For renters, will price become reasonable again?
It will, but what I'm getting on that, it's more like right after the presidential election. So there's something where things start to calm down, the economy feels better, radicalism starts to slow down a little bit. So all those things affect like the housing market and whether people want to live, let's say in Florida. That was about Florida. Yeah, so I get very soon after the presidential election, it'll start to calm down, get better.
Okay. I see orbs all over my house. How can I tell if it's a spirit or dust?
I've seen this question a number of times in the past. It's real easy, actually. So orbs have a very specific geometry. They also move very quickly, very radically, and also go through walls. So a lot of the things dust doesn't do. Dust tends to have more of an oblong shape. If you look at it closely, it doesn't necessarily go through walls. So it's actually very easy, but I think once you first see a first couple of orbs and they'll stand still and then move at rocket speed through the
Right.
house and go through a wall, very easy to discern them compared to dust. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
Jack
also, sorry, one other thing they were just telling me, also color. So very interesting colors you don't get with dust. Yeah.
I know one time I was on the Queen Mary and we were ghosts walking around and I felt something on the top level and I pointed to it. I said, take a picture up there. And it was a big purple orb, but it was purple. Will Jack Dorsey's new social media platform, Blue Sky, become a new Twitter, or will Mastodon or one of the other platforms be the next big thing?
Answer is all the above. So Blue Sky Social, among others, is going to be an aggregator of other big platforms. So
Right.
it's going to have its own platform plus aggregate a lot of other social content. So that is the future. There will be success in that area. I do see it. Yeah.
Okay. Will Jack Smith indict Trump for the classified documents case or the insurrection before Georgia? Or the insurrection before Georgia indicts him for his attempt at election stealing. She said she'll do that in July, but some people are thinking he might actually hit him up earlier.
Yeah, I've always seen it. It still looks like the Georgia one's going to come sooner than the Jack Smith ones, but looks like the Jack Smith indictments will be tenfold in terms of the increase in terms of the number of indictments.
Right.
So big difference there. But it looks like for me, the Georgia one's gonna see the light of day faster. And it may only see the light of day faster by a few weeks, you know. So
Chuck Grassley and James Comer are stating that they have credible whistleblower that told them that Joe Biden accepted bribes from foreign nationals and that the FBI is hiding the records. Sly, can you ask your guide if there is any legitimacy to this? If not, will Comer and Grassley suffer any consequences?
I don't see any truth to those assertions. No, it's a fabricated story. In truth, it's a fabricated story just to blow up a smokescreen and try to create a lot of havoc.
Yeah.
And it'll die out and there won't be any evidence. And yeah, so it's,
he even said he doesn't know if it's true or not.
yeah, great. Just like a lot of the stuff we saw on with Fox News and Giuliani, and the producers tried to screen those guests and say, "Do you have proof?" Said, "Well, we don't have proof. We're trying to figure it out." That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Now that the Biden administration has put troops on the U.S.-Mexico border, what will the results be of this action?
I get it's going to streamline things a little bit better. So one of the purposes of saying the troops down there is to relieve a lot of the border officials that can help process, migrants.
Right.
So the troops aren't going down there to process migrants, but they're going down to relieve other staff where they're shorthanded.
Okay.
So it looks to me like, for me, it's going to increase the efficiency. Look, a lot of people down there. I don't see a lot of violence, but I just see it's going to help increase the efficiency.
Right, because the Border Patrol and the DH, whatever, they're going to be doing their work, but they're just there to support them.
Exactly, yeah.
Now that the 4 Proud Boys have been found guilty of seditious conspiracy and obstruction, will other senators and congressional members be indicted as well?
If what they're asking there, I don't see other congressmen being indicted for seditious conspiracy. I don't. I see them being other charges. That's a very high bar legally to hit. And, the DOJ did a great job in what they did on the Proud Boys and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I don't see them going after Congress with seditious conspiracy. For some reason, it looks like the DOJ gets a little more conservative and says, high bar to meet. We're not going to hit that threshold.
Okay.
So other indictments, but not.
But there will be other indictments.
Other indictments, just not that charge. It's a very high level charge.
I'm very happy they got what they got.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why did the Neanderthals go extinct when they had a culture possibly similar to Homo sapiens with cooking, clothes, art, jewelry, and burial traditions?
Biologically, they weren't as advanced, so there were certain diseases that got them, and they didn't procreate as fast or fast
Okay.
enough. So, like the die-off rate was faster than the rate they could procreate.
Okay. Do you see Josh Hawley being indicted or removed from Senate?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
But
yay.
yeah, but it's like in 12 months, so it's
Okay.
a long slog here.
Voted out or indicted?
Both looks like both. Yeah.
When a person sends in a question, do you feel any vibes from the person or the question?
Yeah, certainly you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's writing style holds clues to how they're thinking. And sure, it's like even like reading music, when the
Yeah.
way people structure words together has a rhythm and an energy. And sure, yeah.
How seriously will the voter suppression tactics used by many of our red states affect our 2024 elections? For example, North Carolina SCOTUS just reversed a gerrymandering law. Now all gerrymandering is legal. Other states have passed laws enabling the legislators to overturn the outcome of elections in certain counties. Example, Harris County in Texas, which is mostly Democratic voters. And may I say out loud, I can't remember the number, but it was a huge number of people under the age of 30 did not vote in Texas.
Interesting. So that question was all about, will the gerrymandering be successful?
Will it be successful?
And I think the question was, will it be successful then in also throwing out the vote? Is that what it says in that question? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no. So I see it being challenged, and I see the right candidate, the correct candidate winning, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So any place where they try to play a game with saying we're throwing out the election results,
because we can.
I see it getting challenged in court and say, okay, now we're going to do an audit of the vote. Oh, the audit shows that the real candidate won. So there is some court action going on there. I do see that. This will take a few months.
Right. Yeah. And this is sort of like that last question you just answered, the same
exactly.
thing. Don't worry, they'll take it before higher courts, and the courts will say, nah. Okay, will there be significant voter suppression and or violence at the 2024 election? People are focusing on that.
Yeah, there's going to be some rioting. There's going to be a lot of upheaval of 45 supporters. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be. However, the good news is that the military, the federal government, a lot of police are now completely geared up for it. So now they'll never let a January 6th style event happen again, because now they'll have tanks, ready to go. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be, for a number of months, unfortunately, everybody's gonna be screaming that 45 won and this and that. Yeah. So, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Will 45 followers change their allegiances after the E. Jean Carroll rape, groping, and defamation lawsuit?
And that's for the MAGA or the 45 followers? Yeah. They still believe 45. So it doesn't matter, what he's done. They still believe he's, a wronged man.
Yeah.
So,
and she's the liar. But I think I see her winning. I don't know if you did.
Oh, 100%. I've been reading that in my shows, as I saw a very good outcome for Jean Carroll, including the women that testified on her behalf. Yes. They allowed that testimony into the court. And
he'll be furious. He'll be spitting nails.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is it possible for a 78-year-old to acquire special psychic abilities so late in the game of life?
It's never too late, as long as you're on Earth.
Ain't late.
No, I mean, as long as you're on Earth, you're still on the planet, you're still in school, and that's analogous to cramming for finals, right?
Yes.
So you absolutely can develop skills anytime you want. That's all about free will on your life path. Yeah.
Do you see Ukraine starting their counter-offensive soon? Will they be able to remove all the Russians from their country soon?
So, multi-layer question there. I do see the major Ukraine offensive starting very soon. I feel they've already got it all set up and ready to go. They got
one rocket that cost $3 million. They were able to blow that up in midair.
Absolutely. So that's all starting very, very soon, if not right now, the offensive. Then the other part of that question was, will they get all the territory back or something? I think.
Well, will they be able to get rid of all?
Get them out soon.
Yeah.
So I still see I see negotiations, a lot of discussions happening around summertime around a resolution between Russia and Ukraine. I see a
Right.
lot of discussions and debate and negotiations
Is Putin
towards.
still alive?
I believe he's still alive, but he's on the threshold of the edge of going over.
Okay.
Yeah, health wise.
Yeah.
But the other thing I see is that eventually, give it 12 months, 18 months, that even Crimea will come back to Ukraine. So it'll take that long to kind of get all the Russians out, get it. So negotiations will start. We'll start moving towards peace or an exit, but it'll take a while to get all the Russians out just to exit. So
Okay. So many people suffer from arthritis. I am suffering from psoriatic arthritis. Will the CRISPR technology be successful in resolving the issue?
yeah, actually already is. They're already running tests using gene editing technology right now. They're running tests. So within a few short years here, a 4 to 5 year horizon for different types of arthritis and inflammation, gene editing technology will be medication available based on gene editing. Yeah.
Okay. It seems several psychics and astrologers are predicting Putin won't be around much longer. I saw him when my guys told me that he was going to hit Ukraine. They said this is the beginning of the end of Putin. It's just time-wise from the other side, you don't know.
I agree with you. We just touched on all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Will his demise end the war in Ukraine, or would another Russian leader keep going?
No, his demise, his exit from the planet will be kind of a full stop. But then I saw 2 other Russian leaders coming in, one short term for like 6 months, and then the next one that comes after that one looks like they're in for the longer term. So I saw it's almost like whether they put someone high in the cabinet or military for 6 months in control of Russia, and then they move somebody in long term that that the party agrees to, something so. Yeah.
Okay. Will Merrick Garland completely take himself out of the insurrection investigation?
Well, he has maintained a complete arm's length removal from it because he doesn't want to look like there's any favoritism going on or anything happening. Right. But when the charges come down, what I think Jack Smith at some point will hand over the indictments or the charges. Then I think the DOJ then moves forward with that.
Okay.
So hands off right now during the investigation until that's done, and then the indictments are done. Yeah.
What is Sudan really all about?
I asked my team about this several times. So the answer is a little surprising, but Russia's involved there. And the reason Russia's involved is because they're after the gold. So it's after resources. So that area of the world is like the 10th largest supplier of gold, interestingly enough. And so right now with the Russia needs some sort of a trading resource like gold to get weapons and things they need for the country. So what's going on behind the scenes there, and it hasn't come out in the press yet, but I think it will, is that Russia's bolstering up one side or the other here to try to get access to like gold and the resources.
Wow. I want to add this question. They're saying Biden's son, you know,
Hunter
Biden.
Yeah.
Charges are coming up any day now on him. I saw some sort of hit with income tax, but no slapping him in jail charges.
No, I don't see any of that. If it's related to some sort of, you know, false dealings overseas, that kind of thing, I don't see any of that. No.
Okay, thank you. So what's coming up for next week?
Well, yeah, we talked about a little bit, a big push towards for Ukraine, right? Against Russia.
Okay.
Interesting enough, I record my shows on Saturday morning. I do a show and then I release it on Sundays.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to tell you right now is kind of interesting. Yesterday morning, when I was asking my team what's coming up, they said another mass shooting at a mall.
And then Texas.
And then Saturday afternoon, we saw what happened in Allen, Texas. So I thought it was interesting. So when I was thinking about what's coming up this week, I still saw that mass small shooting. And I don't believe there's another one. I think that's the one my team was talking about Saturday morning when it came through.
Okay.
The other thing I'll say is I see good progress being made behind the scenes with Biden, the GOP, and the leaders of the Democratic Party regarding the debt ceiling.
Thank
Now,
you. I never saw it crashing, but
yeah, now what I'm saying by that is that I think they're going to lay down some markers. It may not all be public because they're going to try to save face. Republic or GOP will try to save face, but some sort of markers to say, look, if you give me this, I'll give you that. Some sort of a negotiation going on here. So I felt there's like good progress behind the scenes this week
okay.
Coming up, and it's going to get us to a point where we're not going to crash and burn. So
Thank you.
we'll be able to get the debt ceiling done. But there's a bit of face saving going on here, and I think Biden's pretty good at that. So
Okay.
Hmm.
Do you have any message your guides want to share?
I do. It's simple this week. Place all of your faith in your guides and angels and allow them to bring the right solution to you. Don't try to like pre-manage the solution or the result or the
Right.
outcome. So many times people say, this is what needs to happen. No, ask your guides and angels to bring forth the best solution for all involved.
For all
And be
involved.
ready to accept that solution, right? Some
Right.
people talk themselves out of what's best for them. So
Right, exactly. Yeah, even cancer, which looks so terrible for me, at the end of the day was the best thing to happen to me.
it's not, those big health things are always big resets in our life. They're always
Yeah.
big times. They're like timeouts for all of us. We have to
Exactly.
sit back and say, what's going on? Yeah,
Exactly. Well, my friend, this was wonderful. Now
Hey,
listen,
real quickly, I always like to mention, I always like to mention how to reach me. So, for those, sometimes you have new listeners on your channel. So
Right.
we do have a YouTube channel, Sterling Psychic Medium. And then we also have a website, sterlingpsychicmedium.com. For those who need to reach me, just go to the book a session tab, and it's very easy from there. So,
and also, we will not meet in 2 weeks because I'll be in Sedona.
okay, great.
So you and I
Congratulations
will
on
meet
that.
again, at the end of
4 weeks out.
4 weeks out. But I hate
Whatever,
those
yeah.
long, and people get upset, but they can watch you on your show. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, you guys.
All right,
Remember when you
fantastic.
didn't have a show and you finally opened one? That was great.
Well,
Okay,
yeah,
you guys,
it's
and thank you to Linda and Daniel, and you guys take care.
all the best. Take care.